Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Rebel Crone update. I've got some exciting things to share with you about what's coming up this week, and then also some personal reflections, personal lessons, and reminders that I've been going through the last couple of weeks that may be a benefit to you as well. So, this week, coming up on Rebel Crone, on Tuesday, I have a really special interview I'm going to be doing with none other than Dawn Ham Hart. As many of you know from Archaics, she is somebody that I met about a year or so ago when her and Jason and the Archaics crew were out here in Santa Fe. We haven't had a chance to really get to know each other on a very close basis. So I'm looking forward to this opportunity. I had to do a quick little editing on my video because right when I got done making it, I got a text from Dawn Ham Hart, who I was going to interview this week. We have to kind of put it aside for a couple of weeks until time allows for her. She's got a lot of important projects with Archaics right now that need to come to completion. So when it's done, Dawn's going to join the Rebel Crone for a chat about life, about aging, and about the nature of reality. So I look forward to that. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be speaking with none other than Maurice again. And we've decided, well, I actually decided and asked him if he would join me every Thursday. So every Thursday, it's probably going to end up being a podcast, is going to be Thursdays with Maurice. And where we are just going to talk about what's going on in the world. We're going to talk about, what's going on in the world at many different levels, personal improvement, personal development, especially spiritually, as we dive into a lot of the just being revealed realms of history and timelines and kind of the nature of reality, which I love and I've been studying for more years than I can count. So it's gonna be really fun. We're gonna kind of be bridging those two worlds, which is so important. The deep inside, the spiritual, and then this whole timeline of what's going on. So Thursdays with Maurice. That'll post Thursday night. At some point, maybe we'll do it live, but until I get that all figured out on my computer, I'll have to just do my editing and post later. And then the other thing is, as you know, my website is now live, therebelcrone.com. And on it, I'm advertising a free webinar on purpose. And let me tell you how that's going to work out. What you do is you get on the website and sign up for the webinar. And then the next couple of weeks, that's my next project I'm working on here. I will create the webinar. It's like a mini class. And that will get sent out to a link to it, a private link to all the people that have signed up so that you can watch it at your leisure. I don't know about you, but there's so many times when people post great content and it's going to be a live thing and I can't make it. Whatever reasons, it's just good. I'm just not going to be able to get on the call. So anyways, this is going to be no pressure. You just listen to it at whenever you want. The link to it will be always available to you. So I'm really excited about putting that together. You can, on the website, you can read the topics that I'll be covering with it and a lot more than what's there. I'm not sure how long it'll be. It'll be as long as it needs to be. Let's put it that way. Okay, so that's sort of the schedule coming up here this next week or two. What I want to talk about right now is the past couple of weeks. The past couple of weeks have been very challenging for me. Yes, Mercury was in retrograde. It went out, I think, on the 27th or 28th. For any of you that don't know about Mercury being in retrograde, let's just say things kind of tend to go catawampus, especially technologies. Life can feel like it's come to a halt. I mean, there's all kinds of challenges that can come up with Mercury in retrograde. We're having a lot of solar flares. So there's a lot of things going on energetically. But no matter what, if you believe in that or not, it doesn't matter. You may the last couple of weeks have felt some personal challenges. Whatever we want to attribute to does not matter that much. What matters is how we navigate them and how we come through on the other side. And when we have different energies going on like that, there's going to be certain things available and a lot of things that aren't available to us. And that can be kind of frustrating for those of us that really like to participate in life in a very I was going to say vigorous way, but in a very proactive way. Suddenly we don't feel like we can be as proactive. So it's really a time about going inward and really shoring up some of the inner dimensions. And one of the things for me in the last couple of weeks is really being aware of being in between things. I've just done a bunch of new stuff in my life this past year, especially the last 3 months with the Rebel Crone, other things going on, finishing up my book and, you know, stuff going on in my world. And it's really felt like I've been in between things. So last couple of weeks, I've used the opportunity to really choose a timeline. Okay, and I'm going to explain that in just a minute because I hate to sound airy fairy about things because all these things I can totally uh, um, define in a different way. But choosing a timeline, we'll go with that for right now. Is I've been very aware about choosing a timeline for my future since I felt kind of in this in between ranges. And I picked one. I picked one that I think is going to be in my highest and best interest, is going to be the most fun, the most productive, and will make the best use of who I am as a being and what I've come here, what I've incarnated to do. So I picked this. So I picked this, and there's a visual about it. There's a story around it. There's a feeling, and there's also a story. Now, the challenge is, and it's a big challenge for me, and it may be especially for the other crones listening, is that we have really, through living this many years, as we've really honed the ability to see, to see with the third eye, to see with our intuition. And these visions can get really, really clear. So in choosing a timeline, which we can always do, timeline, you can say it's like an intention for the future. It's, a wish, a longing, a desire, or it can be quite literally is a timeline. We have all these different potential futures available to us in any given now. Sometimes we're at a crux in our life where it opens up into some very powerful potentials that are available. I feel like I'm at one of those. And I think a lot of us are feeling that given the nature of what's going on in the world and everything right at this point in time. So when we're at this place and we start visualizing, we start, feeling out like these potentialities and we choose one. So we choose one in our minds, picturing it, we choose that, but it's really based on a feeling, and not to forget that because that's going to be really important. We'll go into that in just a minute, but it's really based on a feeling in our heart. Now, one of my challenges, because I have such strong visual tendencies and visual capabilities, is that I can start really picturing it, and it's really exciting. It's really fun because it's the timeline I want, and I can get really caught up into it. And what happens then is it pulls me out of being right now in my life into what I think that potential would look like. Sorry, that's like a scary hand going out there. What that potential would look like. And so what happens then is it can fall into fantasy very easily. And you know how beguiling and fun fantasies can be, but there's a trap with them. And the trap is it pulls you out of your point of power. And your point of power is exactly right now. So in choosing and picking like where we want to go to in our life, just make sure you don't fall into that trap of, of picking a timeline, picking an intention, picking a course, and then getting caught up in it in the future of that without tending to the now. Because the now is what's going to bring you there. You being present in the now is what's going to create the future that you want. The other thing to be very aware of is that our mind can come up with a scenario, what it looks like. And that's great. That's great because it can ignite our passions. Oh, it'd be so fun to be this and do that and life look like this, but it's a mind model. It's something that we've created based on these feelings. Once again, here's where it's super important. The thing, once we've set that intention, once we've made that request of the universe, we've put that into motion in our being, then is the time to literally let go of it. Let go of it. Remember the feeling, but don't get caught up in how your mind created that, the people and the places and the things that it put around that. that can be another trap that's going to steer you off course. Because maybe right now your mind can only think of, it's like this person and that person doing this and doing that, when really that's just a holding model for the real model that wants to come in, the real reality. So we need, okay, so great. It looks like this. I'm just going to set this aside. And now I'm going to allow for the universe, for my energies, for the synergies of life to conspire, to co-conspire with me to move forward in that direction, however it's gonna look. Because remember, it's the feeling. I know my future, the feelings that I want, the feelings of living out my potential, coming more fully into my power and having that be a mechanism for changing the world, however that's going to look like, and having a partner that's going to be right there next to me that we can change the world together. And that's like most important to me. Now, how that actually looks, how big that can be, who the partner is, who are the friends around me, how it's going to happen is not to be attached to that, not to be attached to all those things. There'll be names and faces and places and things and stuff that will come into that vision to make it happen for you, that timeline that you're moving in now. But just don't get caught up in how your mind, the visualizations, the fantasies, the creation that your mind can come up with. Anyways, I hope that this is helpful to you. I just, it's like it's a challenge for me. It's been a challenge, especially these last couple of weeks, because I feel once again at a crux of another potential moving forward. And I know I share this with so many people because this is the time of some rapid change. It's the time of rapid revelations about what's going on in this world. And I just have to keep shouting out to Jason and our KXs. Jason is a very unique person that I feel like is really pulling back the curtain, pulling back the covers and really allowing, what's been hidden from us to come to light. And this is not based on fantasy. This is based on, clean, clear research that he's doing. If you haven't checked him out, please check out RKX with the AIX at the end. And there is just a lot of stuff to navigate. I think in some of his playlists now, he's got stuff for beginners, which is a great place to start. Just a great place that even to go back and to re-listen to just get a context, for what he's talking about. So these things are really, really important. And I know he's also expanding into other more maybe esoteric kind of things. My God, he interviewed me on the show. So, here you got like the mystic coming in with all of that. So anyways, it's good times and it's exciting times. So this is all going on. We're getting the lid getting blown off of everything, thanks to not only just him, but other really incredible people with a lot of integrity that are out in the field in doing this research and also just sharing, like I am, of, a lifelong of pursuing like the nature of reality and what's happening. And so there's a lot available to you out there, which is really, really good. And it is a time of big changes. And it's a time, most importantly, for us to choose our timelines. Like, which one do we want to live in? And reminder, it is a free will universe. So you can choose whatever timeline you want. What do you want? What do you want the future to look like for you? And that'll be the world that's going to form up around you. It's like, yes, it's changing the world. And that's how each one of us can change the world, is that we change the world that's drawn to us. And different worlds will be drawn to different people. And this is just kind of the beauty and the magic of life. And one of the big secrets is, and you can call them reality tunnels, whatever. The reality tunnel is going to lead you to the world that you want to inhabit. That is yours for the creating and the making. Mine will look different. Mine's going to be mine's going to reflect me. Everyone's going to reflect their own, but choose wisely at this time. Really, really choose wisely and don't get caught up about what the fantasy your mind can do. Great, have that fantasy, create that thing, and then look at what is the feeling that is bringing to you. Why do you want that? What would it be like? What is passionate to you about that creation or that timeline? Hold steady to that, because that in every now, as you feed and nurture that part of you, that's going to move you through the reality tunnel. It's going to move you through the path that's going to take you ultimately to the world that you want to inhabit, and the world that you want to live in, and the people that are going to surround you. Now, how all that's going to play out, people talk about the earth splitting, and maybe, oh no, is there really a split in the projection of the planet? I don't know. But all I know is that the reality that I'm going to create, you're going to create, each one of us as immortals and incarnate through free will, we will create for ourselves. And that's the exciting news. In the meantime, we need to abide in right now, do our work, do our inner work to figure out where we want to move to, and then setting that intention, letting go, and then enjoying being in the now, and watch as these things form up around us. The last video I just did was on permeability, such an odd word, right? Permeability. How does permeability relate to spirituality and to me trying to figure out being in this world? Well, if you listen to it, you'll see how it relates to everything, and it relates to exactly this conversation, is how much are we allowing our higher selves into our being? And with this, I'm not saying for people just open up and whatever invisible energies come into me. Oh my God, no, 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 no. It's your higher self, your highest and best self to come into you. There's, at some point, if you want me to, we can go into some protection things that we can do as far as, with our energies, making sure that we are permeable to what we want, the energies that love us, the energies that are aligned with us, and the other energies that are seeking to maybe challenge us. They're giving us other choices that we don't want, is that we become impermeable to those. And the last interview Jason did with Joel, the perceiver, was really powerful in that sense. And he talks about the Toltec and their whole, understanding about negative energies and the role they play in this world. That may be of interest to you, it may not be. Just know that there are energies, that are pro-life, there are synergistic ones, and then there's antagonistic ones, and they're challenging ones. As a divine being, a free will, a sovereign being, I can choose. And when you make the choice for one that's more challenging, the ones like, oh my God, there I did it again. How did that come in my life? Well, in a way you chose it because you allowed that to come into your life. Well, you can stop allowing that. Sometimes you just stop like that. And other times you might have to do a process of reclamation, as Joel said, a process of really coming back in and finding out, why do I keep doing that? And to shore up and let go of whatever patterns of the past. It's a huge subject. I'm trying to make it very concise and stay on topic, but there's a lot of things that you can do as far as healing and keeping yourself in the timelines that you want, the highest and best for you. And that's one of the beauties and challenges in this realm, is that we constantly get a reprove. Like, nope, 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 don't want that. Yes, 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 I want that. So we're all in this beloved process, and it's all is well in the kingdom, all is well in the invisible realms. Just keep remembering that. And the more you let that in, the feeling of all is well, all is going to be okay. Just need to keep aligning myself in the right way. I just need to keep working with those higher realms of myself. My immortal within knows what's best for me. The immortal within each one of us wants the best for us and can bring that to us if we allow it. And how does that immortal within speak to us? Speaks to us through intuition, gut intuition, heart intuition, mind intuition too. It speaks to us through passions, through, when you're passionate about something, you get in the flow of it. It's a beautiful flow. If you've never felt, I'm sure you've all felt that. And we all know what flow is. So these are some ways in which the higher self can come in and talk to you. And we'll be going into that more in the little mini class I'm going to do on purpose, because that is so important to purpose, is to get into the flow of who you are and the flow of your life. And anyways, so a lot of exciting things to come up. coming up this week, and I look forward to your comments. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Rebel Crone. Click on notifications, hit the like button, and be sure to comment if something moves in your heart with what I'm talking about. So many people add beautiful comments to things, like I'm in the flow of talking what's coming to me, but these are very dense and broad topics, so there's so many other pieces that go into the puzzle, and some of you beautiful people out there definitely share that, and fill in like, oh yeah, and Elisa, don't forget about this, don't forget about that, and it's like, yes, yes, yes. So comments, love them. Thursdays with Maurice, yay, that's coming up. Make sure to get on the website and sign up for the free webinar, which will probably be like 2 weeks before I post that. I got to give myself a little time to get that nailed down. And that's it for today. So much peace to you all. And as always, peace within. Perfect place to start. I'll talk to you soon.